Thank you once again for watching us. We are continuing with the tender, like I told you earlier, that we will continue to elaborate for you to understand. We are going a little bit deeper for you to understand that we have authority over these elements, not only with water or tender or fire, but air as well. We will teach all these things. And one thing that will surprise you to know is that we also have power over death. You can decide when you will die. I know this is a shocking to you. That is why you can't afford to miss this channel. You must be here and don't let anybody threaten you with death, that I saw that you were about to die. When you understand all these things, God said, I will never do anything without telling my prophets. In other words, when God is about to do something concerning you, He first tells you that, hey, this is what is about to happen. So we will also teach you to know that the time for your death, you can also have master over it. Jesus did it, and He said He is giving us that authority to do that. So we will continue to ask you to subscribe and share with others that mysteries of life are being revealed on this channel. Time with the Diplomat. You will never regret for being part of this show. And we always thank you and we appreciate the fact that you are having time with us. May God richly bless you and continue to enlighten you. May He illuminate your understanding to the scriptures, to what God has already ordained. And I am telling you, as you are having time with us here, everything that is yours, everything that has been ordained for you, nobody can take it, because you are learning things that will help you to actualize them for your benefit. Let's go straight to what we just left the other time. We were talking about tender, that it is just a combination or the activation of these elements called clouds, lightning, hail, and all stuff. Somebody just activates them and it will be working against you. And I'm saying that you also have power to deactivate them, and we can also activate them as well, because those who are doing it, they don't actually have the insight of what actually tender is all about. And like I was explaining it to one of my friends, I said tender is not anything. It is the combination when you combine the lightning, the clouds, and those kind of things. When they are in move, the noise that they make is what we say tender. So don't try to think that it is something that you can't understand. It is just a raw materials that God has made, and people are combining them to use it against you. That is why we are taking you to the foundation, so that you will be able to understand and appreciate the fact that you have power over all these elements. Everything God created, He gave that power to us to control. But one thing that we are not doing is that God said, and I would like to quote for you to understand. When you go to Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, one of the prophets of all time, we see this man walked with the Lord and he understood the dealings of the Lord. He asked God, God said, Isaiah, let me tell you something. Concerning my children and the works of my hands, command me. In other words, ask me, Isaiah, because you don't know the purpose for the creation of all these things. I created them. I, the Lord, created them. So anytime you come to me and ask me, Daddy, what is the purpose for this thing? I will show you. That's why He said, Isaiah chapter 45 verse 11, command me concerning the creations or the handiworks of my hand and my children. In other words, when you ask God concerning anything that He has created, He is willing and happy to teach you. He even told Jeremiah, He said, Jerry, let me also tell you something. There are certain things that are hidden that you don't know. Jerry, ask me and I'll reveal to you the mysteries of life. The things that you have not delved into, I will just show to you. That is Jeremiah chapter 33 verse 3. So quickly, let's get into this tender issue. You see, in Job, our brother Job, God once asked him this question. He said, Job, have you visited the storehouse of hail? Have you ever entered the storeroom of clouds? I, the Lord, made them for a purpose. And what is that purpose? The purpose is to reserve them for a time of trouble. It has been reserved for a time of battle and war. That is when we go to Job chapter 38, verse 22 and 23. What I'm quoting is actually there. God is saying that all these things, the hail that he mentioned, anytime you hear about hail, it goes with tender. So God was actually telling Job that he has created these things for particular reason. And what is the purpose or the reason? Is to use them for war. And I always ask myself, is God going to fight us? No, it is below his standard. He created it. So we are inferior to him. There's no way superior will fight inferior. No, God won't do that. But what he was just trying to say is that when wicked forces or wicked entity, the evil spirit, if they decide to harm his children, they will also tap into this power and use it to settle scores. It happened in the Bible. People have not realized it. You see, when God sent Moses to the land of Egypt, and the Pharaoh, the king, when you talk about Pharaoh, let me try to explain to people. People think that Pharaoh is a name. Actually, Pharaoh is not a name. Pharaoh is a title. Pharaoh simply means the big house. The big house. Why the big house? It actually simply means in the olden days, Egyptian context, they were having gods, different kinds of gods. And that gods were in a certain house called palace. So if you become a king or a queen, they believe that you are the son of the gods. And the name of the gods were called the Pharaoh because the gods were in that house. So Pharaoh is in the big house, the house that has all gods inside. So immediately you become a king, the title is just given to you. So we become the Pharaoh. But in actual sense, they had names. We have Pharaoh Nama, Pharaoh Khufu, Pharaoh, a whole lot of things. So there was a certain Pharaoh who was in Egypt. And this man, he didn't know what actually happened that the Israelite came to Egypt. He became angry with them and he was forcing them to do things that were unheard of, things that were inhumane. But God said, I will raise a man to go and rescue them. So he used a man called Moses. But when Moses went there, it was very interesting. This man thought he had power until he met Moses and realized that power passes power. Moses demonstrated power to him that sons of God, sons of God, sons of God. Oh, we have power that nobody can dare challenge us. So Moses just demonstrated a bit of the power to him. And one power that he demonstrated was the use of these elements called tender. So when you read Exodus chapter 9, verse 23 downwards, you will see that there was hail. Anytime we see hail, it goes with tender. In other words, hail and tender, God allowed or he taught Moses to use them to threaten this man called Pharaoh, who thought he had power. But when Moses used, he just stretched. God said, Moses, stretch forth your hand and command the hail and the tender, it will come. And Moses used the staff. That staff simplifies authority that has been given to Moses. When he used them, it means, in other words, he was trying to activate, he was tapping into power to show Pharaoh that power passes power. What he was doing was a magic, it wasn't power. So when Moses commanded, when he did what God instructed him to do, we realize when we read that scripture, it is clearly shown that thunder and hailstorm were all over the country of Egypt. And the man couldn't resist. He said, hey, Moses, I can't afford. I don't understand why you, this little Moses, is using this power against me. It's okay, I have given in. Come and pick your people. It is a demonstration that we have these powers, but we don't know. So if anybody is harming you, brethren, I am telling you, you can tap into this power and threaten him. That is why I first told you that you don't have to use it for evil purpose, but we will use it to threaten them, to show them that what is inside us, hey, is greater than what they are having. So they shouldn't think that they have these magical powers and they can use it to manipulate us. These powers that they are using are actually fake. You see, they always counterfeit what the original is. And counterfeit is a significance, or counterfeit signifies that there is an original. So, brethren, I am trying to let you know that we have power at our disposal. All these arsenals are for us to use them, but because we are not asking, because we are not inquiring, because we are ignorant about these things, these evil people are using against us. That is why in this hour, that is why God has raised men like us, that we should come on your way to explain all these things to you, so that you will not walk in fear, but you walk with enlightenment. You get understanding, your heart will be illuminated. You appreciate the fact that greater is you, the greater is he that is in you than he who thinks he has power. You have more than power, because you are always power yourself, but you are lacking knowledge. That is why you don't know that you possess all these things. So I am assuring you, reassuring you, and emphasizing to you that don't fear. The problem that you are facing is below your standard. You have already overcome that problem. Don't try to do anything stupid. Just be with us on this channel. Continue to subscribe. Let people know the mysteries that we are sharing. Let them also be a beneficiary to what we are doing. Factor them in. Let them benefit from what we are teaching you. God has appointed this time purposely for you. It is in God's programming that you will be alive in such a time like this, to experience this information, to get this knowledge. You see, if you ignore this information, I am telling you, the children who are coming, the next generation who are coming, they will just come and make good use of it. And you will see that what God wanted you to experience, you have forfeited it. And it is not God who has done that to you. You have done that into yourself. So, brethren, sisters, everybody, try as much as possible, link with others. Tell them that this is what is going on, and you can't afford to keep it to yourself. Let them also benefit from it, because we are going to release mysteries upon mysteries, and we are going to equip you to understand that power, you have it. Power, you have it. They are all in your arsenals, and you will use it for the benefit of mankind. Next time, I'll just come your way with deeper than this. We have not finished with the elements of fire yet. This is the beginning. By the time we finish with you, you will see that, hey, you have power at your disposal. And that is why I am asking that you don't have to keep this to yourself. Share with others. And if you have not subscribed yet, do well to subscribe, so that anytime we upload new videos, you will also benefit. We are reaching the world with the power that has been given to us. I remember when Jesus came, he said, all powers or authorities have been given to me, but I don't need them because I'm in heaven. I am giving it to you so that you will also demonstrate it for everyone to see that, in fact, me and my sons, we are for signs and wonders. It is in Isaiah. He said, those that God has called, we are for signs and wonders. We have to stand up and tell the world that power passes power. We can't afford to let these criminals, we can't afford to let these wicked people control us. No, the hour has come for us to rise and shake the world. Let the world know that we have more than what they are experiencing. Brethren, don't ignore us. Don't try and say that you don't watch us. Make sure you make it a point every time to watch us. Share for others to also benefit. I know you have been blessed. Thank you for being part of this show. And I always pray with you that you will be alive to understand. When you partner with us, this is the assurance that I'm giving to you. You will not die, because me, I'm not going to die unless I finish releasing all this information. And that information God has given to me, hey, I tell you, it is more than eternal. So if you partner with me, you will not die. You will live, and you can address death. That death, wait, when I finish my assignment, you come for me. Actually, we have that power. We will unfold all these things. So, brethren, just always be here and listen to us. Thanks for being part of us. May God richly bless you.